Hi, humans. Someone had asked me if I had blamed my parents for ignoring and not recognizing my childhood essay. And the answer is no, yes, and not anymore. And so let me explain. Initially, I didn't blame them because I think there was a part of me that didn't want to hold them accountable for two reasons. One, I was trying to protect them. I was constantly finding myself making excuses for them for not recognizing what was happening to me. For example, they were going through their own relationship struggles. They had been dealing with their own childhood traumas, and they were just constantly in survivor mode. And they didn't have time to pay attention to me. And two, I think I was trying to protect our relationship because if I took the time to hold them accountable and acknowledge the fact that they did ignore the signs of my childhood essay, then what kind of feelings would that bring on for me? And then I think I was afraid of confronting those feelings because then what would that mean for our relationship moving forward? However, throughout my healing journey, I did a lot of work on placing blame where it belongs and holding people accountable because for a very long time as a child, I thought it was my fault and I took on a lot of that guilt and that shame. And so, one of the pieces of this stage was holding my parents accountable for ignoring the signs of my childhood essay. And to my surprise, this stage was so essential because then it allowed me to then move into my next stage of forgiveness. And so, in order to forgive my parents, I had to confront that previous stage of holding them accountable. And so, I think that by being able to forgive my parents, it did a lot more good for me than for them because I was then able to set myself free from all the resentment and anger that I had towards them. And so overall, it's been a very complex process. But what I've learned from this experience is that you have to acknowledge the past in order to take steps towards healing. And for me, it was really crucial for me to acknowledge what my parents did, despite how painful that was, in order for me to reach that next stage of my healing process and my growth. Now, don't forget to smell the